Good day and welcome to Mayor King's TV News. I am Timiela Emanuela. Now to begin the news, here are some of our top stories. Ijaw communities in Delta shut Chevron facilities over Warri delineation disputes. On business, oil price fall on Iran-US peace optimism. And on sports, Cheryl backs Portugal to win World Cup. Now the news in full. Amid rising tensions, Delta State Governor Sheriff Oborevwori convened a peace meeting in Asaba with leaders of the Ijaw, Itsekiri, and Urhobo ethnic nationalities. Women and youths from several Ijaw communities in Delta State on Monday shut down key Chevron flow stations in protest over the non-implementation of the Independent National Electoral Commission INEC ward and polling unit delineation report for the Warri Federal Constituency. The protesters, drawn from Gbaramatu, Ogbijo, Isaba, Egbema, and Idibri kingdoms, occupied major oil facilities including the Abiteye, Olero Creek, DB Field, and Upwegba flow stations, demanding immediate implementation of the delineation report presented by INEC following a Supreme Court directive. The demonstrators carried placards, sang solitary songs, and insisted that the delineation exercise was necessary to ensure fair political representation for communities in the constituency. However, the protesters vowed to sustain the shutdown until INEC begins implementation of the delineation report. Tragedy struck at Agbor, Ika South Local Government Area, Delta State on Monday, as 4 persons are feared dead and 35 others wounded following the derailment of the Warri-Itakpe train. Sources disclosed that following the incident, rescue effort was immediately launched with security agencies and residents working to assist trapped passengers and evacuate the injured to nearby hospitals. Chairman of Ika Northeast Local Government Council, Mr. Monde Odigwe, disclosed that 35 injured passengers were receiving medical attention across 3 hospitals. In the meantime, Delta State Governor Right Honorable Sheriff Oborevwori has expressed grief at the tragic train accident in Agbor, which claimed 4 lives and left several passengers injured. In a statement by his Chief Press Secretary Festus Aung, the governor commiserated with the families of the deceased and prayed for the speedy recovery of those currently receiving medical treatment for injuries sustained in the incident. The presidency has described the Nigerian-United States Security Joint Collaboration as key to end terrorism and banditry in the country. Special Advisor to the President on Media and Public Communications, Sunday Dare, made a statement on Tuesday during an X-based discussion. There is said intelligence sharing, security collaboration, and joint counter-terrorism operations between both countries remain critical to dismantling insurgent groups and criminal networks operating within the region. According to him, the administration of President Bola Tinubu remains focused on restoring peace across the country, protecting lives and property, and safeguarding Nigerians' territorial integrity against internal and external threats. He noted that the growing collaboration between Nigeria and the United States reflects a shared determination to tackle security challenges through coordinated action, capacity building, and intelligence-driven operations. Now on the business news. Oil prices tumbled on Tuesday as growing optimism over a possible diplomatic breakthrough between Iran and the United States triggered a sharp sell-off in global crude markets, with Brent sliding toward the $91 per barrel mark. According to the Economic Times, Brent crude fell by over 3% during intraday trading, while WTI dropped nearly 4% as markets reacted to reports that a draft Iran-US peace agreement had been submitted for review in Washington and described as preliminary acceptable. The development immediately weakened the geopolitical risk premium that had kept oil prices elevated in recent weeks, particularly following heightened tensions that disrupted sentiment around Middle East supply routes and the strategically critical Strait of Hormuz. At the time, fears of prolonged supply shocks sent global energy market into panic buying. Tuesday's decline therefore marks a significant reversal as traders began pricing in the possibility that easing geopolitical tensions could stabilize supply flows and reduce the likelihood of further disruptions. Finally, on the world of sports, Super Eagles head coach Eric Shelley believes Portugal possesses all the attributes required to emerge as the next FIFA World Cup champion. Portugal, popularly known as Celso das Colinas, are among the leading contenders to dethrone Argentina as world champions at the 2026 FIFA World Cup in Mexico, Canada, and the United States. Roberto Martinez's squad boasts an array of world-class talent, including veteran forward Cristiano Ronaldo, midfield maestro Bruno Fernandes, and Bernardo Silva, as well as rising stars Vitinha and João Neves. Chile, whose side will take on Portugal in an international friendly in Lira on Wednesday night, praised the depth of quality within Roberto Martinez's squad, describing them as a team packed with some of the finest talents in world football. Now to hand the news recap on our headlines. Ijaw communities in Delta shut Chevron facilities over Warri delineation dispute. On business, oil prices fall on Iran-US peace optimism. On sports, Shelley backs Portugal to win World Cup. That's the news as read in a detail by Tiniela Emanuela. Thanks for watching.